Dean Ambrose in hot water with both Triple H and Vince McMahon following his interview on the Stone Cold podcast with Steve Austin. Does this mean the end of Dean Ambrose's WWE Championship reign? Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and thank you again for tuning back into the channel. More SummerSlam 2016 news and rumors getting you all ready as we head into Sunday's big event. If you guys missed anything that I talked about so far, we talked about the possibility of Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar main eventing SummerSlam on Sunday with a possible interference from Bill Goldberg. We also talked about The Undertaker possibly returning after rumors sparking this return when Undertaker and Shane McMahon were noticed down in Texas at a bar buying drinks for everybody that was there. I talked about that and his involvement possibly with John Cena and AJ Styles on Sunday night at SummerSlam. If you guys missed those videos, links will be down in the description below, and I'll leave you guys an annotation on the screen right now as well. Plus, we did Off the Script preview and predictions for SummerSlam. I also did NXT TakeOver Brooklyn preview and predictions. Everything you guys need will be down in the description below. So thank you guys for that. Do not miss anything that I got coming for you during this weekend, man. I got everything plus match simulations for SummerSlam told to you through WWE 2K16. Absolutely huge weekend. Absolutely huge weekend. You do not want to miss anything I got planned for you guys. I'm going to keep you up to date the very best that I can, including this story that is being reported as well, this time concerning Dean Ambrose. It seemed pretty obvious that Ambrose would go right through SummerSlam and end up maybe losing the WWE title down the line to someone like AJ Styles or even Randy Orton. However, WWE management does not seem to be on his side right now. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter and a report by Dave Meltzer, Ambrose has some heat with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon and Triple H over his comments on the Stone Cold podcast last week. Before I even continue, I read articles concerning this podcast. I did not physically watch this podcast. And the reason why I did not watch this podcast is because I am really not that big of a fan of Dean Ambrose, where I would sit down and listen to him for an hour and a half and go over his life and his childhood and this and that. Okay, I read articles from various different people saying that this was probably the worst podcast that they aired on the WWE Network. That Ambrose was very standoffish. He didn't answer the question. He spoke too much. He gave Stone Cold a runaround on many questions. Stone Cold was getting frustrated. He threw Brock Lesnar under the bus. So on and so forth. I did not watch it. Eventually I will, but I heard from many people and they all had the same opinion. It was very awkward and it came off terrible on the WWE Network. Most thought the interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin was awkward the entire time, but that didn't seem to be the main issue for the WWE chairman or the game. The main issue they had was that Dean Ambrose put down creative during the interview. He mentioned how he could only do so much and that he didn't enjoy everything being scripted as much as he felt he could do fine without so much around him. I mean, we say this all the time, and I know I make mention of it, and it's clear as day. It comes right through your fucking television. People sound scripted. The promos sound overly scripted. You see a lot of WWE superstars not acting themselves, and it just comes off that way. We don't need a report, or we don't need Dean Ambrose to come on a live podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin and hear those types of things happening backstage. Stone Cold Steve Austin has been saying it for years now on his podcast. Let these guys off the fucking chain a little bit. Let them run with a promo or a character progression for their character. Don't have so many guys writing for these WWE superstars. There's no way a WWE creative writer can get into the mind of a Bray Wyatt or another character that's in WWE and write for them. You know, have the characters and the WWE superstars throw ideas out for their characters on television. Whether it works, whether it doesn't work, at least be open to the ideas. Do not constrict them to Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon only. Not everything Vince McMahon does or says is going to be the right thing. He doesn't grasp things as everybody says he does, as well as he does. You know, you can't grasp what a Bray Wyatt is trying to portray on television unless you are Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt lives that fucking character. Everywhere he goes, he never breaks that fucking character. Look at Matt Hardy. I mean, Matt Hardy had a fucking podcast with Chris Jericho, and he never broke character once. Jericho probably thought, what the fuck am I listening to here? What are you trying to tell me, man? And it came off as the most entertaining fucking audio podcast I ever heard in my entire life. Absolutely brilliant stuff by Matt Hardy. And when you hear guys like Ziggler, and you hear guys like fucking Roman Reigns and Sheamus and Cesaro, everybody sounds so goddamn fucking scripted. I mean, give me a break. And Dean Ambrose, you know, whether this gets him into hot water, I don't know. Whether this is going to have a direct effect on his WWE Championship reign, I don't know. But one thing I know that you do not do is mention WWE Creative, because no matter how many writers there are, 10, 20, 30, 80, it doesn't matter. They are not WWE Creative. They're fucking people in there who are puppets to Vince McMahon and Triple H. That's it. WWE Creative is Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince McMahon. No matter how many writers there are. So when Dean Ambrose said this, obviously he wasn't talking about the fucking 38 creative writers they had. He was talking about Triple H and Vince McMahon. Now, Stone Cold also said, I read from everybody, and people told me that Austin wanted, or at least told Ambrose, to be a little bit more open with how he was in the independents. You know, be that fucking Moxley character that he was in the independents. You know, be the fucking crazy guy I seen on the internet and in these YouTube videos. Dean Ambrose says he would love to do that, but he can't. He can't do that. Now, I don't understand why Stone Cold would ask that question when he damn well knows the answer to that fucking question. These guys cannot do it. They are not allowed. These guys walk around with a ball and chain on their ankles everywhere that they go. As long as you contracted to WWE, you do and say what they want. You are their property. You are their slave. Why do you think Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow got released, but he didn't give a fuck that he got released? Why do you think Wade Barrett, of all fucking people, you know, he's in the WWE, and everybody knows that WWE is the biggest wrestling organization in the world. Wade Barrett, 6 months before his contract is up, announces he's leaving WWE. And they treat him like shit on television. They job him out, right? And before you know it, 3 months before the contract is up, they let him go. They let him walk. Cody Rhodes was granted his release. Cody Rhodes says, listen, I don't want to fucking do Stardust anymore. I have creative ideas, and I don't want to fucking do this fucking freak character anymore, you know? He did it as an homage to his father, but he didn't want to do it his entire career. Cody Rhodes knew he had it within him to be more than what Vince McMahon thought he could be. Vince McMahon was not open to any of these ideas. They became deaf to everything that Cody Rhodes was saying. So he went to WWE higher-ups and he asked for his release. Look at that. He was granted. Because they didn't want to give this guy creative control, or somewhat creative control, and have his ideas for his character pan out on television. So because WWE is ignorant and stubborn to their talent, and they don't give a fuck about who's employed there, they want to run the entire show. They think because Vince McMahon's the CEO and Triple H is the COO that everything that comes out of their fucking mouth and off the top of their head is the right thing. No, it's not. It's not. Not everything Vince McMahon is the right thing. So you're going to lose talent over stubbornness and ignorance over creative? Come on, bro. In a day and age where you needed this talent, you knew you needed a Wade Barrett and a Cody Rhodes and a Damien Sandow with a fucking draft that you had planned well before any of these guys wanted their release, or you released them. Was it worth losing these guys because you didn't want to give them some creative freedom and some of their ideas pan out on television? Absolute stupidity. Stupidity. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes of WWE. All I know is that people got sticks up their ass, and they need to fucking sit down and look themselves in the mirror. You know, sitting on your fucking throne and your high horse making all this money. Meanwhile, the fucking ratings are plummeting. You're losing fucking talent. Talent is unhappy. Political garbage left and right backstage. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Why can't WWE run smoothly? You got two fucking brands, distinct, Raw and Smackdown. You got people running Raw and people running Smackdown. Yet there's still bullshit going on behind the scenes. I don't understand it. I don't understand this at all. And the fact that Dean Ambrose came out here, said what he said, and it's like Steve Austin baited him into saying this shit. You know? I don't understand that at all. Austin very well knew what the answer to that fucking question was. He cannot do it. He wants to, but he can't. What is he gonna do? Speak up? He's the fucking WWE champion. He can't do anything. Even though he's carrying that title around in the company. It's the most important title in the company. And the WWE champion cannot get a creative idea across. Nobody will listen. Do you think Stone Cold Steve Austin and everybody in the Attitude Era, you know, if they were put in this new era, you think they would be the characters that we all beloved back in the Attitude Era? Of course not. You think a Val Venus would get over and be able to fucking cut porno scenes as a promo in the new era? Of course not. You think Steve Austin would be able to douse himself in fucking beer and start throwing the middle finger everywhere, start fucking cursing left and right? No, of course not. You think The Rock would be able to fucking do what he did back in the Attitude Era in the modern era? Of course not. Give me a break. Absolutely nothing that went in the Attitude Era would fly in the new era. At all. Stone Cold would not be Stone Cold. The Rock would not be The Rock. Guys like Val Venus and fucking Godfather. Give me a fucking break. Godfather, remember when he turned into fucking Right to Censor? That would be fucking Godfather in WWE New Era. There'd be no hoes. There'd be no hoe train. Give me a break. There'd be no pornos with Val Venus. None of this shit would fly. Everything is so goddamn fucking PG. Below PG. It's sickening. Absolutely sickening. And the fact that Stone Cold pretty much baited Dean Ambrose into this fucking question, which he very well knew the answer to, is beyond me. CM Punk notably thought this and would actually throw away any script given to him that would tell him what to say. Stone Cold always said, and he's been stating it for fucking years, give these guys bullet points. Let these guys free. Open up the fucking cage. You know? Give them some creative freedom. Give them bullet points and let them go out there and cut a promo from within. Then things would be a little bit more organic. The one thing I fucking hate in WWE is the fact that these guys are so goddamn scripted. It's nauseating to me. When you listen to somebody and he's reciting lines that you know he was reading mere minutes before he hit that fucking ring. It is absolutely disgusting to me, Austin always said that when he went out there, he was given bullet points about this, and this, and he cut a fucking promo, and none of those guys ever sounded scripted. Never. Why can't something so simple like that be done on WWE Raw and SmackDown? I mean, for Christ's sakes, they got guys doing promo classes down in NXT. Cutting promos from within, from the heart, off the top of the head. Everything that these guys are learning seemingly gets thrown out the window when they reach the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Why? Why are you teaching them the way, and then when you get to Vince McMahon, nothing that you were taught down at NXT sticks? I don't understand. It is just so mind-boggling to me. Punk would throw away scripts. Good. He knew. You're going to script CM Punk to go out there and cut a promo? I don't think so, bro. I don't think you're going to fucking tell CM Punk to go read a script and cut a fucking promo. You know? We wouldn't have had the pipe bomb. We wouldn't have had anything that followed. Come on, man. Ambrose claimed WWE had given him more freedom, or has given him more freedom, which is why his promos have improved over the last couple of months. Austin also pushed for Ambrose to go further and do more, even going as far as saying he's gotten complacent with how he is, especially since he won the WWE Championship. Ambrose felt offended by the comment, he says, but claimed he would work on things so that they could be better. The issue in Dean Ambrose's eyes, according to him, is that he was met with knows on numerous occasions when asking to do things, so it wasn't as if he wasn't trying to go further with creative. He certainly was trying to do more, but when you're told you cannot do something, then you're kind of in a trap creatively. That can be difficult for many to deal with within WWE. When you talk negatively about creative, that comes right back to Vince McMahon and Triple H at the end of the day. So it would make sense that they would be upset with Ambrose over his comments regarding creative issues. However, is Dean Ambrose wrong in what he said? Creative has not been the best over the last couple years. In fact, it's been downright fucking hideous. It's been awful. And ratings have reflected that. The reason why WWE ratings are in the fucking tank is because creative is fucking garbage. It has nothing to do with what's happening in the ring. It's the fact that these guys have absolutely no fucking creative control, and it comes off as fucking garbage when you listen to these guys speak. And when we see fucking 1-minute matches and no storylines. Why are guys fighting week to week to week? Why should we care about why these guys are fighting at a pay-per-view? There's nothing of development there. People aren't stupid. People aren't stupid. Look at The Walking Dead. I mean, honestly, look at The Walking Dead. You know, there's a reason why it does massive fucking numbers. It's the #1 rated show on television from October all the way till fucking the end of the season. And people, when they take that month and a half off, mid-season finale, people are fucking crying because they want to see the story develop. When you have decent story being told, and you give people reasons to come back to the next episode, and you leave a cliffhanger here and there. Holy shit, what the fuck is going to happen next week? What's going to happen with Rick? What's going to happen with Daryl? Oh my god, is fucking this guy dead, or is this guy fucking eaten alive? What's going on here? This guy's kidnapped. You don't know what's going on. You are intrigued and interested about what is going on. You will do anything. You're fucking dripping. Fucking saliva all over your face. You look like a fucking mess. You are absolutely thirsty for the next episode. This is what WWE needs to do. Not once in the last 4 years have they given you television like that. To the point where you are fucking absolutely dying to watch what happens next week. You don't? We watch Monday Night Raw because it's such a fucking tradition. It's like a ritual. We don't know any better. We're like fucking zombies in The Walking Dead. We watch and watch and watch no matter how terrible and terrible and terrible it is. Because it's just something that we're used to doing. WWE and the creative writing sucks. If you take fucking ideas like The Walking Dead and you fucking just suck people in with great writing, people will watch. People will continue to watch. You will see a fluctuation in the ratings going up instead of going the opposite way. This is what I've been explaining to everybody. Why is this so difficult to fucking grasp? This is why I complain. I don't complain because I hate the fucking product. I complain because look at what they have to work with. How can you give me shit television with that talent? Why are you treating this talent the way you're treating it? I don't understand. I just don't understand. So Vince McMahon and Triple H, when you talk about creative negatively, it always comes back to them. Maybe Ambrose's comments were too truthful for management. God knows you tell the fucking truth. One day you might not even have a fucking job. Oh, you talk bad about Vince. Sorry, buddy. Your future endeavored. Give me a break. He clearly said what everyone was trying to say, or what everybody was thinking, so it was by no means a surprise to any fan and someone, or that someone in WWE felt that way. As you could tell, the talent wants to do more. The other issue with management was that Dean Ambrose called Brock Lesnar lazy when it came to their match at WrestleMania 32. I heard completely different. You know? Maybe Brock Lesnar was lazy on this night, but I would never call Brock Lesnar lazy. At all. You know? And I'm going back to WrestleMania 31, when you had Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Now, Brock Lesnar is someone who is, I would say, he might not be overly excited to work with young talent, and the build for a Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania 31 wasn't really great at all. It was pretty much non-existent, you know? And Lesnar had to pretty much do what WWE wanted him to do and say as they were building up Roman Reigns as the next big guy. They eventually gave the title to Seth Rollins because they felt at that moment Rollins was better at the WWE Championship than Roman Reigns was. They wanted to go with Rollins over Reigns. Reigns wasn't ready in their eyes. And Reigns still isn't ready. So we're nearing WrestleMania 33 now, and Reigns still isn't ready. But Lesnar could have easily been lazy in that match, being that the build was awful, and he's working with Roman Reigns, and he might not respect Roman Reigns, and he might feel that Roman Reigns doesn't deserve to be in a position that he's in, especially at WrestleMania in a main event with Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. You know, he might not be willing to really put him over and genuinely mean it. Lesnar could have been lazy then, but he wasn't. That match was absolutely fucking fantastic. And the reason why Lesnar might have been lazy, I don't think Lesnar was lazy on his own volition. I don't think Lesnar meant to be lazy. I don't think he wanted to do harm to Dean Ambrose. I think Lesnar wanted to be lazy because he knew in his mind that he was going to do UFC 200. And he didn't want to do anything outlandish or crazy to injure himself before training for UFC 200 because he knew he was going to make a fucking shipload of money. That's why. That's why Lesnar was lazy. So I don't really poke blame at him. But I heard otherwise. I heard Dean Ambrose went to WWE Creative and again with idea after idea after idea and he was shot down every fucking idea he threw at them. They didn't want to fucking listen. It's as if they didn't want to book the match at all. So why did we fucking have to sit through 12 minutes of a match that completely wasted our time as if it was a main event fucking match, on main event, not the main event on the network, and it was a glorified squash match at WrestleMania for Dean Ambrose. He was suplexed into oblivion. We didn't see none of the fucking goodies that Mick Foley and Terry Funk gave him. It was absolutely fucking terrible. That was seen as a dud by almost every single fan. Everybody fucking shit all over that match. Ambrose claimed that he had a lot of ideas and was willing to do a lot, but Lesnar met him with laziness, and most everything he wanted to do was kept out of the match. This very well could have been why the match was so terrible, as Brock didn't want to do anything to make it great when he had all the tools to, when it had all the tools to be one heck of a match if both men wanted to put the work in to make it so. That had everything to do with UFC 200. I don't blame Lesnar for being lazy at all in that. You can't really poke fun or poke blame at Lesnar. He definitely had his reasons. I don't think Lesnar would be lazy for the fact of being lazy. I don't find Lesnar to be lazy. He's making $6 million. He's going to go in there and give you a fucking show. No question. No matter who it's with. Lesnar's not lazy. Steve Austin tried to pry the entire time when it came to his interview with the WWE World Champion. So if there's some heat that needs to be on someone, it should be on Austin, as Dean Ambrose tried to avoid some things, but Austin kept pushing him on certain things. This was especially true about his childhood and upbringing. Ambrose clearly did not want to talk about some things, but Austin kept insisting. This is what a podcast is. You open up to the audience. Ambrose didn't want to talk about it, so be it. Move on to the next fucking question. When Ambrose gave his opinion on some things in WWE, there were also some prying there as well. So maybe Ambrose wasn't the main problem when it came to the Stone Cold podcast if we want to get technical. The thought amongst some is that the whole ordeal may cost Dean Ambrose his WWE World title at SummerSlam this Sunday. The plan as of now is to still have Dean win over Dolph and retain his title. However, it is unknown if Ambrose will drop the title at Backlash or WWE No Mercy as of now. It is expected that he will enter a program with either AJ Styles or Randy Orton after Sunday, so it's possible he drops the title sometime within the next month. It seems that the heat with management is not going to hurt him too much, as he's now over enough to get away with just a little bit. So, Ambrose said what he said. I don't look for him to be punished. I look for him definitely to walk out of SummerSlam retaining the WWE Championship. But the main issue here is that WWE needs to let the ball and chain off of some of their talent. They need to let the talent fly free. It's not only going to make the talent better, it's going to make them happier, and it's going to transcend into the program. It's going to make the programming feel better and look better and sound better. That's all I want. And you guys know my fucking gripes with many of the fucking practices in WWE, and I hope you understand where I came from in this video. Sorry if it went on too long, but I did have a lot to say about this. There's a reason why I didn't cover this when people wanted me to talk about it. I hope I gave everybody what they wanted here, my opinions on everything regarding the Stone Cold podcast with Dean Ambrose. So let me know what you guys are thinking about that. Thank you for listening to me. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Sorry for the fucking cuts in the editing because my cat's acting like a fucking retard. And I had to pretty much stop and continue on where I left off, because she was just fucking running around all over the place, just fucking making me go crazy. But thank you guys so much for that. More SummerSlam news coming up very, very soon. Stick to the channel, and if you missed anything, everything you need is down below in the description, as well as an annotation on the screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back with more SummerSlam news. Until then, I am JD, and I'll see you guys right back here, man. Thank you so much for watching.